Welcome to Journey of One. This is a show where I travel around Southern California to check out fun events and interesting places to see. Thanks for watching. Let's begin the journey. This week I head to the Van Nuys Airport, home of the famous 16 Right runway and where many movie stars keep their private airplanes. I'm here because my Uncle Mark is a pilot and offered to give me an airplane ride tour of Los Angeles and the South Bay. The plane he was taking me up in is a 182 Cessna Skylane, one of the most popular and most produced airplanes in the world, second only to the 172 Skyhawk. This is my first flight in a personal aircraft. I was intrigued at all the details and parts of the plane as my uncle did his pre-flight checks to make sure everything was in working order. Once everything was cleared, we pulled around and filled up the gasoline for the flight. If you've ever complained about the price of gas for your car, try filling up a plane sometime. We were all ready to go and taxied to the runway and waited for our turn to take off. Taking off in a small plane is actually a lot smoother and less jarring than it is in a commercial jet airliner. It's like if you were just accelerating your car, but after you got to a certain speed, you just began to lift off the ground and suddenly we were in the air. Being in the personal airplane was amazing because we could fly at a lower altitude than a normal commercial jet, which gave us spectacular views in every direction as we flew. One of the first places we flew by was Universal Studios. Seeing Hogwarts from this angle was a lot different than from the ground. Next up, we flew over Dodger Stadium, with the downtown Los Angeles skyscrapers just beyond it. Circling back west, we flew over the Griffith Observatory and Park, which I visited earlier this year in an episode that proves flying is safer than driving. When I visited Griffith Park, it was the closest yet to the Hollywood sign, but on this flight, we got so much closer. Continuing west, we passed over the huge UCLA campus, and just beyond that was the Getty Center, overlooking the entrance to the Sepulveda Pass. Reaching the coastline, we passed over Santa Monica, with the pier looking so small from this height. Turning south along the coast, we next flew over Marina del Rey, with their harbor shining brilliantly in the SoCal sunlight. Along our path, we had to cross over LAX, giving some scope to one of the busiest airports in the world, and also where my grandpa used to work in that square black building you see there. Often people make a joke when they're up high on a mountain or taking off in a plane that they could see their house from here. Well, I got to say it and have it actually be true. Our flight reached its south end as we circled over San Pedro and the LA Harbor, one of the biggest ports in the world where billions of dollars of goods are imported and exported every day. We also passed over the battleship USS Iowa, which was just as impressive as ever. Coming around the Palos Verdes Peninsula, we flew over the Korean Bell and Fort MacArthur as we followed the Pacific coast around back north. It was a perfect day for flying, and the ocean and beaches looked so gorgeous from up high. We soon flew over Redondo Beach and King Harbor as we made our way up along the beach cities of the South Bay. Next came Hermosa Beach and the Strand, where I visited the Comedy and Magic Club. One of the things I was overwhelmed by was just seeing the city spread out before me, with so many buildings and houses all over the place. It really puts into perspective how big the Los Angeles area is, and how many people are living here. It just goes on and on, as far as the eye can see. But what I also realized was how much of the land was still open, and how much of the nature and trees there still are. Even if it is surrounded by people, it's not all gone, and plenty left to appreciate, especially if you're one of the people wealthy enough to live in the hills overlooking the city. Finally, we were nearing the end of the flight as we circled around and prepared to land back at the Van Nuys airport. I was glad to have an uncle who was such an experienced pilot and made the entire trip so amazing, flying the plane smoothly and bringing us down safely. I hope someday to go fly with him again and see the world from the sky once more. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment letting me know what you think of the video. Visit journeyofone.com for more videos, bonus content, and to see what's coming out next on future videos. See you next week as I go on another Journey of One.